Guys, don't let the CS market being down today put a damper on your parade because the case market is the craziest it's ever been. We've seen some cases explode in price today, so let's talk about it and what it means for the rest of the market. First off, the breakout case has gone from like $10 to $12, almost $13 already. This thing is still blowing up in price. It's one of those cases I talk about so often that I'm like, can this thing really get higher? Do people really want to pay that much for a case with butterfly knives? Why would you not just buy one? Well, clearly people do. This case is worth almost $13 at this point, and it's absolutely crazy, and just one of the many cases that has blown up recently. As you can see from lows, a lot of cases are still starting, or I shouldn't say still, but they're starting to consolidate. This long-term price uptrend is still going on since the beginning of this year. They bottomed out at about 237 or so. They're at $6.60 now, guys. It's absolutely insane what's going on in the case market, and I think it's going to continue once again with this super high player count. What this mostly suggests to me is that, I mean, skins are probably going to keep increasing in price as well. I would say any massive dips are for buying at this point. With the case market being this strong, people are clearly willing to gamble and, risk a lot of money to try and unbox a knife because, I mean, knives are so expensive as well. Everybody wants a super expensive knife, so they're going to be blowing up the cases. Even the clutch case is starting to show some pretty good signs of life. It's over doubled in about the past year or so. So really solid. And essentially any case you look at in the market right now, let me look at the gamma cases as well. Actually, let me start by looking at the glove case because this thing is massively, maybe not massively, but it's up like 20% from lows. These lows got bought up super quickly and it's already back on the move up. So it's great to see. And this is kind of where I'm going to start to say that I don't think we're going to reach pre-hype levels. At this rate, with the case market going up this much, I don't think it's going to happen. Now let's look at some crimson kimonos. Let's look at some of the stuff in the glove case that has gotten ever so expensive. This is what I like to see. These are the charts I like to see because we went through this massive dip with these a few weeks ago. They reached 6,500 at peak, dropped all the way back down to 3,100. If we're looking at this from a technical standpoint, I trade stocks, and that's kind of how I look at the CS market. You would love to see this thing hit like 3 grand again, like 3,100 or 3 grand. That exact same level that got massively bought up just a few weeks ago. And that is a potential price I would buy something like this at. Once again, the glove case, you can see how strong this thing is. This is the glove case, right? It is. Look at how strong this thing is holding up so far. It's very, very good. Even with the glove prices dropping back down, people are still clearly willing to pay a lot of money for these cases and still unbox them at a significant rate. So, this video is sponsored by Skins Monkey. If you've been looking to trade out your old boring skins for new ones, Skins Monkey is the place. By clicking the link in the description, you'll get a 35% deposit bonus when depositing with cash and crypto, and up to a free $5 bonus on your first trade. So be sure to click that link. Skins Monkey also has the freebies tab where they run 24/7 giveaways that are completely free to join with crazy skins. And if you're looking to actually get your hands on some good skins, Skins Monkey is the quickest way to do it. So be sure to get that free $5 and 35% deposit bonus now, trading your CSGO skins with that link at the top of the description. It does seem like selling pressure is kind of leading certain things in the market right now. These gloves, for example, clearly super expensive. People are going to be taking their profits. But if these reach like 3,100 again, 3 grand, I might have to whip out the credit card and start buying these because despite the fact that it's sure not all the way back at pre-hype levels, look at the case, guys. When this thing was $2,000, or these gloves were $2,000, that was late last year. So we could just say December last year, case was about $8. Case is over doubled in price. The gloves have just about doubled in price as well. So this is like fairly respectable levels, I would say, but they still can come down a bit more. So once again, like 3,100 for that case, or sorry, 3,100 for these gloves, I would definitely be buying at. And I will let you guys know if I do. We'll see if they come back down to those levels. Phase 2s are down a decent amount again. They're down 25% in the past month, which shouldn't be too shocking because, once again, it's kind of like the glove cases, or the gloves in the glove case. Went through the massive hype spike, hit a low of 4 grand, tapped it again. You can see there's a lot of buying pressure here because it hit the exact same level twice, and people just massively bought it up. Went from 4 grand to 5 grand back to 4 grand. So, once again, another pair of gloves, or another item. If it reaches 4 grand, I would definitely consider buying. We'll see how fast the move happens, but I mean, it's a respectable level. Obviously, you'd want to see these come back down to 3 grand, and phase 2s are a bit more risky for sure. But For the gloves, for example, I would buy at that level. Hopefully, ideal situation, these will come back down to like 3 grand, and that'd be best case scenario. But that's really, I don't know if I want to say risky, but it's really hopeful to say they'll come all the way back down to those prices. But once again, for the same reason, cases are getting so expensive, people want their phase twos, and people are willing to spend some crazy amounts of money on cases here. We'll go back to the Gamma case that I've covered quite a few times as well. This is the perfect trend I like seeing in this market. It's not like this where we're jumping up dollars in a day's time. I was gonna say a few days. This is one day this thing jumped up $2. You don't want to see that if you're a long-term buyer and long-term holder, because that usually means move is going to get retraced, because it's there wasn't that many cases bought. They were just bought in a very short period of time, and then slowly people could take their profits, oversell them. That's where the consolidation starts. That's where a bunch of people start buying, and then they slowly go up in price again. So very good to see. I'll also take a look at the CS20 case, which I have not looked at. I have no idea what this thing's going to be at. $1.53, I'm sure it's consolidating. Yeah, looks fine. It hasn't done as well as other cases. As always, I'm expecting to hold this case for like 3 more years, because obviously there's not as much demand with the CS20 case, but still, just shows how strong the case market is. What else can we check? We could check some Spectrum cases. These are probably all going to be the same chart. Yep, it's fine. Looks great. Consolidating at these levels like it did all the way back here. Just goes through this funky price action, but is staying at the same level before massive blow up, consolidate, massive blow up, and it does look like we're starting to see that consolidation again. So fine price to buy, fine price to hold at. That's what I would be doing in the case market right now. Those are the things you keep in your inventory for a very long time. You forget about them, you come back to the game, and what the hell, suddenly you're a millionaire. Maybe not that much, but you've probably made a lot of money if you've held those cases for just a few years. It is good to see the rest of the market, I should say, coming back down in price as well. Of course, we do want to see everything come back to pre-hype levels. If we see a Icarus fell at like $500, that's definitely a price you want to buy at. Maybe even lower, like $450 would be great, but even $500 is not that horrible of a price. Look at how good this chart is, guys. This thing was $60 5 years ago. The blue phosphor I could take a look at as well. We are just rapid firing through skins today. This is something I said you should most definitely buy at under 600. Under 600, I believe. What did it get to? Yeah, under $600. Well, look at that. It got to 575. A lot of buyers stepped in, and it's on the uptrend. Could very easily come back down to 575, for example. If you bought this thing a week ago, you're $200 in profit, but you're hoping it comes back down to these pre-hype levels, and that is a safe spot to buy at, and you will be doing very well if you buy that thing, if you assume the game is going to continue on the uptrend long term. I'm a big fan of it. Now, of course, we do have some very expensive gloves in the game still. I don't like buying things that are $17,000, but this thing reaches like $13,800, for example. I assume it's a pretty good spot to buy at, but there's a lot of open air below it, so we'll see how much demand there really is for these gloves in the upcoming weeks. I would personally stick with the stuff that's like 4 grand and not 17 grand. Crimson Kimonos over hedge mazes there for sure for me, because they're good looking gloves. They have a lot more room to run up in price. If the hedge mazes are becoming worth like 17 grand for not even factoring new conditions, then it's pretty obvious the rest of the skins have a lot of room to run up as well. A lot of the play skins are just sitting kind of sideways right now, which is normal. I've covered these in maybe like a couple videos, I guess. I only really covered them once, but a lot of the time these play skins, there's just so much supply, even though they're coverts, that they'll go through really funky price action and really quick moves. And since there's so many of them, a lot of people take profit and they just come back down to pre-hype levels. An AK Empress at like $30 isn't bad. I mean, long term, I think holding this thing is fine, but you could see it's gone from $30 in 2020 to $37 now. So you definitely want to be sticking with the stuff that's proven to be good. Just some normal play skin knives and stuff like that. Those are some things I should lastly cover as well. We'll go back to the M9 Boreal Forest. It's up today. One of the few skins up today. As I say, these play skin knives, people love them. That's like a $5 range. So we could look at the all-time chart. Just consolidating at this level. Fine spot to buy if you want to hold for multiple years. You probably aren't going to make an insane amount of profit, but this could be a double in like 3 years. I mean, once again, $118 in 2020, $542 in 2025. If the cases are going to continue getting more expensive, people clearly have proven they're willing to unbox them, even if the numbers don't really make sense to unbox them. CSGO case odds suck, but it doesn't matter. Knives are going to get more expensive too, with the cases getting more expensive, because people are going to be like, I don't want to spend $5 plus a key, so $7.50 to unbox a case. I might as well just buy a $500 knife, and then you could resell it eventually, hopefully for some more money, because a lot of people have the same idea. So that's going to wrap it up for this one. It's a crazy time in the market right now. Dips are for buying. I will let you guys know if I buy anything else. I am most definitely keeping my eye out. And thank you guys so much for watching. Check out the sponsor link at the top of the description. See you in the next one. Peace.